So let's try to understand container and wrapper and why it's important in website design and how it helps keep your content within a specific width range. When we design a website, we often use container or wrapper to hold our content together. So let's look at these boxes. Imagine these boxes are images, text, or different shapes. They are being well organized right now, and with these lines and frame that is stopping them from going here and there. Whenever we build a website, there are chances that some big images, some large text and heading go away from these frames. But with the help of container, it creates a boundaries of our layout. They help us keep everything organized and ensure that our website looks good on different devices and screen sizes. A thumb rule, keep your container in between 1300 to 1600. Now you might be wondering why should we stick to width of 1300 to 1600? Well, the reason is simple, versatility. While there are many desktop screens out there, keeping our content within this range ensure that it looks good on most of the devices. But what about mobile and tablet users? Don't worry, we'll cover that in next chapter. For now, let's focus on creating a solid foundation for our desktop layout. So, let me take you to Figma to clearly explain you in detail about the idea of container and wrapper. So here in my screen, you can see that I have designed this frame. So this frame is being designed in 1400 pixel width. So that means that this whole container is 1400 pixel. And I've added this two red lines. These are my wrapper. So my wrapper is in 1300 pixel and my whole website is right now in 1400 pixel. So when we design like this and when we actually view this website, so this is the actual view, this is how it will look. So on the left and right, you can see white as well as black. So black is coming from the Figma. So this will go away once it goes to development. So this is our website and it is exactly looking the way it is looking in our design. So when you go and check in 100%, it is the exact size that we are seeing here. So 1300. So because my laptop screen is 1300, or most of the laptop that the users are using these days are probably of this range, or not exactly 1300, at least of this range. I design my website. So normally what I do is whenever I design my website, I use 1300 pixel as a container or a wrapper, but I try to use the screen of 1600 because whenever I design, I do not design in laptop, I design in a large screen desktop, which is 1900 pixel to 2000 pixel of width. So I use those sizes and design with this range of frame, and then I put my container as 1300. So when I view this, so I can still see my design, black part is gone. I can still see that my design is still showing the actual size, the size that I am designing. So putting this 1300 container will help us to see our design in exactly in the 1300 width with left and right as a white in our browser. But in the case of large screens, I've seen like many web designers who design a large screen like iMac with 27-inch display and setting their container width to 2600. This can cause problem during development because the calculation may not exactly translate correctly as your users are not 27-inch screen users. Neither your developers are. So when they actually view the design that I have made in 2600, this is how it will look. Okay, this is how it will look. So you might be probably designing by checking in zoom 50%, but the actual view is this, and your content is going out from the frame, is actually going completely away from this screen size. So that's why we need to make sure that we design in less than 1600. So this is the standard, and you can just go and check in actual view, and this is how it will look. And you also might be wondering, like, let me design in 2600, and you can just go to option and click on fit to width and see my design. Well, what happens is when developer develops our code, they will go and inspect these files. So these files will be 54 pixel height and 186 pixel. So this button is right now 186 and 54 pixel, and this font is right now 32. But when they view it here, it looks smaller. When you view it in fit width, it might look smaller, it might look perfect, but when actually go to the code, they will pick these font size and button sizes, and then eventually when it goes to development, it will eventually look in this size. So developer will not or cannot go and do fit width and inspect the code according to the screen size. So we need to remember that every screen size are different, and this world is still not ready for the website that are larger than 1600 pixel. If you are designing a large screen, make sure that you just use container width of 1300 to 1600. I will cover the topic of designers and developer handoff in a separate video and explain why large size designs are not suitable for developer as well as your user. Let me not confuse you right now. And if you're still finding difficult to understand the concept of container, I will make it easier for you when we make our sample website in the last chapter of this video.